Welcome Helix fans and all you ships at sea. This is Helix Newsletter Number Trois, 3, and we got lots to talk about today. I got my notes, cheat notes all here. First thing we'd like to do is we'd like to thank my friend Bernie Shaw and the guys from Uriah Heep for signing an acoustic guitar for us. Dave Southern, who's a friend of mine from London, Ontario, buys acoustic guitars and he gets me to sign them by celebrities and personalities, and then the guitars are auctioned off either for the cancer hospital or sometimes for the music program at the Aeolian Hall. Anyway, worthy causes for sure. And we've had Nika McBrain give me stuff signed from his restaurant, Rock and Roll Ribs, Nelly Furtado, Trooper, the Sheepdogs, Dee Snider signed an electric guitar. So the guys signed the guitar and took a picture with it. And then when Uriah Heep came down to Florida a couple weeks ago, Linda and I went up to the House of Blues and we saw the band there, and they signed a letter of authentication for us. But thank you very much to all concerned, Randy, and to Uriah Heep, and to Dave Southern for supplying the guitars. Now, for the past several months, we've been working with Jeff Schnarr and InView Marketing out of Toronto, setting up different social media to help get the Helix word out there. The first one was hooking the Planet Helix website up to MailChimp, which sends out the newsletter. The newsletter has been very effective, helping us sell these last two records that the band and I've released. This is also in CD, by the way. This album here, which is the last Helix release, is a 45 record. I talked about this last time around. But inside on the sleeve, there's all the members of the band, and we personally signed this. I've never seen this on a vinyl album before, but we did it. And all sorts of pictures in here to look at, and the lyrics to the songs. And then the record itself, which is Devil's Faces on red vinyl. There's two songs in this record. The Devil is Having a Party Tonight, which Brent Durner did the video for. And also the Tequila song. By the way, the Devil was written by the band. And the other side, which is actually on the same side, two songs on one side, is a Tequila song that I wrote with Gordy Pryor and Steve Georgopoulos. We're only going to press 300 copies of this, and I think we maybe got at the most 100 left, so we're not going to print them again. So if you want to get a real collector's item, even if you don't have a phonograph record, although records are really coming back. And then there's the Volmer album, which I did with Gavin Brown, who's won Junos, Grammys, and Gavin also drummed on the album as well as producing it. Sean Kelly co-produced this album and he played guitar on it. Matt Weidinger from Kitchener played keyboards. Cheryl Lescombe, who has been a good friend of mine since the 70s, sang backgrounds, and she's Canada's answer to Janis Joplin. She's got a great voice. And of course Daryl Gray from Helix played bass. So pick that up if you want to support me.
We only got 14 days to fly. 14 days to fly.
Upcoming dates. Well, we have two important dates coming up. The first is April the 19th, and that's out in Winnipeg, the Peg, at Club Regent Event Center with Vince Neil. We played with Vince several times before, I think 4 or 5 times. That's probably going to be a sold-out gig. The one I really want to tell you about is the, where's the date here, May 17th, which is a Thursday night of the long weekend, May 17th, and it's at the Blythe Memorial Community Hall, and it's going to be the Helix Unplugged show. And we're going to be doing most of the songs off the Helix Smash Hits album that we released a couple years ago on Capital EMI. And we're really putting a lot of work into this show. There's going to be a lot of back and forth with the audience and telling stories, and much more casual relationship. It's an acoustic show, and it's at a beautiful hall. The Blythe Theatre is world renowned, and it's well known in southwestern Ontario as a place where they have plays, and so it's a really nice place and a different place to see the band Helix, and we're hoping everybody comes out. We're going to probably be doing a few songs that we don't normally play, like say Tug of War from the Business Doing Pleasure album, or That Day Is Going to Come. Now, where is Blythe, you ask? Well, Blythe is between Clinton and, Clinton and Wingham, right dead center between those two places. So look it up on your map. And I hope to see you all at the show. Perhaps if people are coming from either London or Kitchener to the show, perhaps you can pool some rides together. But we'll see as we get closer. But that's going to be a very special show, and we hope that everybody shows up. As for the rest of the summer, we got dates coming in all the time. A lot of them we can't actually post yet because of contractual obligations, but as soon as we can, they'll be up there on the website with all the details of where to buy tickets and who we're playing with and da-da-da-da-da. As a lot of you know, I answer all the band's emails, so I encourage you to email me, and if you have any questions or any comments on the band, I'd love to hear them. I might not write a big long letter, but I always get back to people. One of the most frequent questions I get asked by American fans is when we're coming back to play the States. As you all know, we spent most of the 80s down in the United States of America, and several tours with Whitesnake, Quiet Riot, Accept, Meatloaf, Heart, all sorts of people. And we really haven't been back since Rocklahoma in 2008 with Brent, except for the boat cruise, which is really in international waters. The reason we haven't gone back down to the States is because it's become very, very prohibitive with the 30% withholding tax, the increase in the price of the work permits with no guarantee whatsoever you're going to get in, money not refundable. The carnet, which is the money you have to put down in order to take your gear, even guitars, into the United States or even through the United States. Then there's flights and everything else, but once again, no guarantee that you're going to get into the States. Mountains of paperwork, virtually impossible to go down and make any money doing it. The boat cruise, the Monsters of Rock I'm referring to here, is another matter entirely. It's in international waters, and we love doing it. We'll have to see if we come back next year. But anyway, that's the answer to that question. But if you got any other ones, I'd gladly answer them here in the next newsletter. So send in those questions or comments if you got them. Now, a lot of times we get different items on the merchandise section of the Helix website. Right now we got some Rock You tote bags, so even if you weren't into the band, I think they look pretty cool because Rock You is such a cool phrase, you know. And the nice collector's items, once again, I think if you buy a certain amount of merch, you get it for free. So at least check it out. Once again, it's on the Planet Helix website at the merch section. So that's it for newsletter number 3, Helix fans. Thank you very much for putting up with me for the last, 6-7 minutes or so. And don't be square. See you around. Catch you on the flip side. Yeah.